Hello and welcome to WrestleCulture. It's so subtle from Phil sneaking into place.
That's Phil.
I was here all along.
Yeah, hi Phil. We've just been talking before we went on air with you sitting right in that chair.
And when there's nothing left to say, has this promo lasted a day? And Cody ain't changing Rock. It doesn't even matter how big you got. What's he even talking about? Yeah, you know you gotta help Dwayne out. Yeah, don't get him started on Moana. You maybe write your promos down.
Yeah.
Cody's got soul, but he's not a selling. He's got soul, but he's not selling. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Phil Chambers and Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture to basically look ahead to Elimination Chamber this weekend, but also discuss everything that's gone on in wrestling. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2Play. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Phil. Thoughts on the song, live and in person?
I feel like Cody because I'm not a seller either. I couldn't sit here and sell that like your finest work. I thought you were gonna say like he's got soul, but
He's not a settling, yeah.
I just thought you were going to just stick with soldier. I thought, as in like Rock's soldier. He's got soul. He's not your soldier.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Because he's kind of like, because if Rock gets him, he's basically going to make him fight all his wars for him, isn't he?
Got soul, but he's not your champion.
I didn't
It's too late now, isn't it? So.
How many songs with soul in it did you go through before you stuck?
I thought this one straight away. At the moment, I was like, I'm really busy today. It's my
soul man kind of guy.
I thought I was a bit of a reach. I know my limits, and I want to get out of here because it's my. But yeah, SmackDown last week didn't hit the heights that we were anticipating. I think is the general consensus. Yeah. But a lot of talk about that today because everyone's pissed off with it being 3 hours and not being any good. Basically, it's changing in June. I suppose is the small mercy in all this.
Yeah, Triple H shamelessly tried to get in front of the inevitable criticism for a show that's been bad for a little while now, but especially since it went to 3 hours. Truth is, it was kind of trending that way before the change. To 2 hours. Like, I am pretty sure as soon as it goes back to 2 hours, or there's any praise for it whatsoever, you're going to hear a phrase that we've heard recently. Apparently, Triple H is back in the weeds on SmackDown. I'm not buying it. It's been underthought, and I think going before the 3 hours thing, but especially in light of Raw being on Netflix. We've been here before. Remember when SmackDown went to Fox and all of a sudden nobody cared about Raw in WWE? For the first time ever, it was like Raw that was the B show to SmackDown's A. There'd been times where they were seemingly jockeying for position, but Fox, SmackDown, billion-dollar wrestling show, Raw got Vic Joseph in a skate ramp. Like, it was SmackDown. We flipped so hard in the opposite direction to give Raw the best start on Netflix. And USA are glad to get the extra hour. So, like, in business terms, everybody's happy on the SmackDown side, but creatively, it even looks and feels like it's being abandoned.
It's really odd as well, because this isn't like Raw going 3 hours. Like, they have had a proven track record of doing pretty good 3 hour Raws recently. Like, that sort of format that they've got for Raw, it took them a end and figured out how to make the 3 hour show format work. So they have that. They know what to do. They've got easily enough talent in the works. Like, it's just all they're doing is going back to the original 3 hour Raw tropes of just elongating every segment to try and get there. Rather
Finishes
than
getting worse, so
they
can redo the matches. Don't like that.
It's just boring.
Yeah,
it's uninspired. It's so just everything feels long.
It's hard as well.
Only got till June.
Well, we've only got till June, but it's hard to at the moment think about who gets the like Cody being the champion. and up until recently at least, bloodline family drama, which I guess you could say is extending now with Solo and Jacob, kind of keeps SmackDown feeling like a primary concern, like something that you have to invest in. If at any point Cody takes his belt to Raw and they're like, well, like, sorry, Gunther, we need you doing that looks bad on Gunther. Yeah. All the work they do for Gunther gets lost a little bit. Or Jey Uso if he wins at WrestleMania, because it's like, right, can you go over there now? It's like the Cena Batista switch in 2005. You've gotten both guys over, but only one gets Raw, and it did damage Batista's aura a bit. That he was like, "You want to off now, please?" Like that's sort of unavoidable. The idea is to not make either show feel lesser than, and then you get to have two champions that are pillars. You know.
The mad problem is like they have secondary belts that they're doing absolutely nothing with at the same time on SmackDown. Like Chelsea Green was on SmackDown for like 30 seconds or something, and like why not just put her in a match? Why not give her a promo in the ring? Like she could make 5 minutes really entertaining. Like there's so many easy ways. I wouldn't worry.
She's wrestling Gail Kim tonight as we on the SmackDown preview. So
suddenly decided.
We've talked about this. I will say this for SmackDown, and it's a faint praise at the moment. But it is interesting that you mentioned Chelsea Green and the women's division at large, because right now, surely the easiest optics win for WWE would be throw like loads of women onto SmackDown and just stack up that show. And if not, like the argument that they are losing, and rightfully so, is that the women are not serviced well by this creative, where you've just got yourself an extra hour and apparently nothing to fill it with. Just hoy the women on there. SmackDown is doing a better job of creating characters and stories in its women's division, even if some of the matches kind of stink. Raw, meanwhile, doesn't do half of that and has the good matches. Yeah. They've got polar opposite problems at the moment. Like Liv Morgan's maybe the middle ground on Raw because the character's been over for ages and the matches are good with Liv Morgan now. Yeah. By and large, those women's matches on Raw play out to total silence. Rhea Ripley feels like she never wrestles. Meanwhile, on SmackDown, some of these matches are stink, buddy. But the characters, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, like, they do get over. They do seem to get TV time. It's weird that they haven't just thought, we've actually got that bit cracked on SmackDown. Yeah. Should we just a few more wrestlers on there and
like match don't mean anything
Io Sky or something? Get over there and like
was it Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair on the last one? Like that is a match kind of out of nowhere that doesn't really mean anything, and they're expecting them to fill like 18 minutes. Like what? There's like a disconnect here. Like there's a way of doing that, giving some people time, but that actually has a story connected to it, where the match actually has some stakes or means something.
It's not. I think where they're fooling you a bit with SmackDown is because there's still a lot of hot over stars in WWE. Just because you look forward to those wrestlers' segments on SmackDown, you cannot be blinded by what the rest of the show is. A Saturday morning viewing experience for us here in the UK, for the most part, will generally open with something cool about Cody Rhodes or Jacob Fatu's this inexorable rise he's on or whatever. But
Louisiana Night.
But the Louisiana Night.
Good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. But then, and I'm sorry, Phil, like DIY come out and the reaction is, and you're going like, on your uppers and downs, you're going to 100 on your volume. It's my Netflix on the fridge. No. There's just 12,000 people that were white hot a minute ago that may as well have all gone for drinks at the same time.
Doing the moment of silence for them. I don't know what you...
There is frigging like this Nakamura LA Knight US title
just
nonsense.
Put the towel back on him tonight.
Like
Jesus.
So much of that mid card is just sludge, silent sludge in a hot era. How have you done that? You know.
Thank you, everyone, joining us, by the way, live on YouTube. Some lovely comments in the comment section and questions that I will get to in due course. I want to give a massive shout out to Curtis Santiago. We mentioned him a few weeks back, Phil. Curtis says, I'm enjoying time at home with my newborn baby, Tegan. Hey. Now I've got two minions to watch this masterpiece with. Congratulations,
Daddy's
Curtis.
all over the goddamn show.
I know, man. We get everywhere.
And hi to the Shallard Dodger, who says, I rarely get to see this live. I just want to say thank you all at WhatCulture for getting me through the worst period of my life. I wouldn't be here if not for you and my incredible Lauren. Never change. Lovely comment. Thank you for that. Matt Rain says, happy Friday, brothers and bestie. Can't watch live, but we'll be listening later on as always. Hope you guys have the best weekend. Up the Reds. Legends Lounge coming soon. Stay tuned. I could be in the Legends Lounge tonight. The last time I was in there, I think me and you and Andy had gone for a pint.
Yeah. It's very rare.
About 6 months ago.
And you got this excited then too.
Yay! And Lemonaden says, Hamflett on WrestleCulture, what a lovely chaotic surprise.
Thank you very much. That's so like the kind of chaos that people like, as opposed to whatever The Rock seems to bring to
the still like that.
Yeah,
some people liked it. Some people said he didn't hit his best promo, and I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah.
He's
Just
all
about.
over the goddamn shop.
Top 5 though, yeah.
Yeah. Some other people can't even touch what he did on Friday. So,
What is The Rock?
We will find out, I think, definitively.
most powerful person in the world, I think.
Final boss, isn't it?
Most followed American.
There's not flex.
Not flex.
Just don't boo that.
And it's $500 million though, so
Tell me I'm telling lies.
Which, funnily enough, it's still millions, Rock. He said that he was talking down Cody. Oh, you've only got millions. I've got $500 million. Still just millions.
Yeah.
Still just
And if you had billions, it'd still be millions. Millions make up a billion.
The catchphrase,
the numbers work.
the catchphrase was never half a billion and half a billions of Rock's fans. That was never what he said. We were talking about this on the SmackDown preview today, Phil. Which you can get probably right now on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And we sort of folded it into an Elimination Chamber preview and things like that. The Rock, it's pretty much do or die, I would say, for 2025 Rock, what happens at Elimination Chamber. The difference between Cody Rhodes saying, but not at WrestleMania last year, and the week later in Vegas with the slap heard around the world and everything when The Rock made sense again. After a week of not making any sense in this world that we were all quite enjoying. And then he did make sense. And then you got the final boss and everything was great.
This is BS.
Yeah.
He didn't say BS, though.
That's... he said the rude one.
I'm just trying to say word for myself, to be honest.
That is Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
What's this Rock 2025 going to be remembered for? Because Netflix, disaster. NXT, what? SmackDown, right there.
Big three.
Yeah.
And now on to pay-per-view.
all three noises. Yeah, either locks in, lock in, off. Right there. That's it.
Do you think Cody does the unthinkable and sells his soul?
I don't care. No.
Fair. That.
Just no. I don't know. It's all over the place. I don't understand what it is or why they think people wouldn't want to watch this is my biggest question mark. Like, usually The Rock has at least some kind of finger on the pulse of what people get, like what audience react to. But he just seems like he's so incredibly wildly off over the last few appearances that it's like, where has all of that talent that of reading an audience and having them where's that disappeared off to? You're just doing things and expecting everyone to just come along for the ride.
Yeah, I know he's a busy man. I know he's spinning a lot of plates and all that. But he has, this time last year, been a guy who's kind of blustered his way in, done something, and then gone, ooh, actually, gauging the reaction. I think the fans, I'll take a step back here, and assessed it somewhat.
Yeah.
It was like he did the Netflix thing and the NXT thing, and in the NXT thing referenced, I kind of screwed that up or whatever.
Defensively, though.
Yeah.
Not in a sorry guys, more in a shut your mouth, I'm the best guys.
He was proven correct. 20 steps ahead, of course.
Yeah.
But now, we said this as well earlier, if they have this segment on Elimination Chamber, which is him asking if he's going to be his champion, just maybe think about what you're going to say if we go out there. Because clearly just winging it hasn't worked.
Yeah. If you want to be a heel, just be a heel.
Yeah, what are you?
What are you
saying?
You can't be a heel and a face in the next sentence.
Yeah, thanks for more.
I know the Big Show flip-flopped a lot, but The Rock did it more in that one promo than Big Show ever did.
Your t-shirt said bring it, not wing it.
Yeah.
Just bring it. It being some preparation and some notes.
I don't you talk about him taking a step back and reassessing and coming back as a final boss or whatever. He did that. Just kind of went on his own thing and pretended that was a plan all along and rewrote history in his own way through doing that when he was really just wrong and had to. But they had it. The Raw after WrestleMania, they had what this Cody Rock thing should be.
Exactly.
And it was that. And it was right there. It was on the table. It was an incredibly easy win for them to just pick that back up this WrestleMania season. And if you're not going to do a match, don't pick it back up. If you're going to do a match, pick it back up. Just do it. It's right there. It's on the table. And then he's burnt it all down in one promo. And has just been incoherent ever since.
Yeah. I think, I don't know what the direction they're going for is here. Because people...
Well, nor does he.
No.
And the thing was, as well, when he started cutting the promo on SmackDown, I felt, here we go, we'll get back into it. Because he comes out and he goes, hey, look, New Orleans, blah, 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 blah. That was all fine. The music stuff was confusing for some people, but whatever. That's just your production stuff. Oh, when the Saints, and you're like, here we go, sing along with The Rock. And he didn't do the finally with them. And you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm singing. You're like, there it is. That's the final boss. I hate all of you. I'm just here to be the corporate guy. And now Cody, whatever. And then he was like, but also thanks for Moana 2. And isn't Cody the best? But also, I'm going to say, be my champion 15 goddamn times. So much so people are like, what do you want exactly?
Yeah, I'm at this point, and maybe this is the dadly in me, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like, The Rock, you almost can't picture this anymore. I put it, me and Sid did a Q&A, and The Rock came up. He's coming up quite a lot at the moment. And I have this thing where, and I've had it with wrestling in general, and you all thought it was weird when I first told you, well, you never switched off. What's your problem, idiot? Yeah. Like, I couldn't. Like, it's like, even when it clearly does not love me, I cannot not love wrestling, right? And The Rock sort of was reflective of that, because if a wrestler makes me feel the peak of my feelings ever, they've like effectively written themselves a blank check with me forever. It takes a lot for me to then to like sort of actually walk it back and be like,
sell your stock.
Yeah, they stink now, but like, God, that you just don't know how much that meant to me. You know, like Jon Moxley's kind of there at the moment. I feel sad. I feel guilty that I don't like Jon Moxley as much as I don't, and that kind of thing. And I always want to come round to him again. I just want one good thing and be like, oh, thank God I can just enjoy Jon Moxley again. Yeah. The Rock, not just through how amazing he was at the peak of his popularity there, sort of 98, 99, 2000, The Rock, you know, especially 2003. Hollywood Rock, Raw is in the bin, Triple H is the worst, everything sucks. And then The Rock comes back for 2 months and he's just like, you cannot take your eyes off him. And what does he do in that time? He gives Steve Austin the most dignified retirement at WrestleMania 19. He puts over the Hurricane, he puts over Goldberg. The summer before, he puts over Brock Lesnar. He wrestles Eddie Guerrero as a WWE champion. Like, he was the most secure guy because he could be. Like, never had there been a main eventer with so much stock and so much room to give. And he was like, well, yeah, I'll do whatever you want because I'm going to Hollywood anyway. Like, I'm Teflon. And he proved it over and over. And it was so refreshing and amazing because wrestling's this paranoid shark tank all the time. And all your favourites kind of let you down a bit in one of the decisions they make sooner or later, as is the nature of the beast. And The Rock didn't have to worry about any of that. He was the best case scenario for a fly-in because he would be like, yeah, I might win a few because I've got to remind everybody I'm The Rock, but who do you need putting over? Who do you need making? I got time. Let's do it. This is like the polar opposite. He's insecure. He does anything but give. Look at that promo with Cody. How else can Cody react but to pull 25 JC Jane faces? Because what possible direction could he follow? How do you react to that and not either kill the fact that you're the top baby face or alienate The Rock and then
who's on the board of directors of the company that you're now the top guy for?
The most politically powerful guy.
Yeah.
Like, if he was still him, if he was genuinely still that 2003 Dwayne Johnson, I'm out, but look what happens when I come back in. He'd be giving everything to everyone.
Yeah.
And he'd still be the great one. And he'd still be The Rock. You know, let's not forget, for all he like Fruity Pebbles, and he trashed John Cena's character to bits, tore him to ribbons. What did that story exist for? To put him over, to pass the torch. Torch didn't need passing, but you know what I mean? The idea was he leaves on his back looking at the lights for John Cena. A 3-year story. Where's that gone? Where has that gone in The Rock, other than one night last year at WrestleMania, night 2, when he still doesn't technically lose, and then he's the guy that comes out the next night and is like, all right, you kind of got half one over on me, but I pinned you. So one of these days, Cody, one of these days. Like, other than that, when at any point has The Rock, like, shown the tiniest bit of ass? And now,
he's got a great ass.
What is he even trying to show? Again, I go back to it. What could Cody have done differently other than gone? And then at some points, Netflix, like, help him along.
If he'd have said anything, broken any kind of script or just gone off script and said whatever he wanted, like the repercussions of that would have been like way too much considering
he was
his
advising him like me trying to help
is.
my parents use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Just like screaming the obvious at him. Like, get
it's
through
like,
this.
It's like you say, like when he came back in 2003, even like in his run, like 98, 99, 2000, Rock, he still was probably lost more than any other top guy in all of the Attitude Era. And could, because he could just talk himself into anything on the microphone, and he knew that the next day he'd be fine because he could cut an amazing promo and have everybody back. It didn't matter.
Felt good to back him, didn't it?
Yeah.
Felt good to back The Rock.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. I don't like that. It's not just that I'm like, go in, I'll rot your old or whatever. It's, I don't feel good watching you. The one thing he's still got is that weird hype. I think the chaos that he supposedly brings is actually overstated, and you know that because he's telling you the disruptor. Like when you're having to tell people you're a disruptor, you're not actually disrupting anything. So I think that's overstated because it's not a fun kind of chaos. It's just a sort of disjointed kind of chaos. The nastiest thing I can say about him, and it's the only in terms of creative, is that when he is around currently, it is the only time the coherent Triple H WWE feels a bit like the Vince one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean that in any other sense other than creative, but you can't say a nastiest thing about somebody. If they remind you of that, the worst of times, they're not good for this business.
I would love to know Cody's unadulterated thoughts on The Rock from coming back and stealing.
And I was watching on a screen in an airport and I was feeling sad. Like, but the tension was palpable, right? And I wonder if you could sit Cody down and be like, what's done is done. But when you got backstage or beforehand, what was supposed to be the thing that he was handing you? And if Cody just goes, I don't know, man. Yeah. Like, we never talked about it. I just assumed it would come back up. And then he did come back and he said we were best.
Saturday night. But
if he does, I hope he just turns into The Simpsons where Bart tries to walk through the auto doors and they just don't open.
Yes.
And it's just a bunch of skits. Like
son of a bitch.
No.
He gets his platform back, but it's like that second appearance where it doesn't quite go all the way up.
Andy in the chat has said, can I ask Mike's thoughts on the Chamber spoiler? Now, I want us to try and talk around this without giving away this spoiler, just in case people are saying in the comments, come on, don't talk about spoilers. So without talking directly about who it's in relation to, even though I don't think it's a spoiler, I think you could hear all 6 men being discussed as the person who wins the Chamber and think, well, yeah, but plans can change. It's not even Saturday afternoon yet. It's Friday night.
One source has told one scoopster who might win the Chamber. When does that sort of stuff not happen before a PLE?
Yeah.
But who, disregarding that, Phil, who's your pick, men's and women's Elimination Chamber right now? Who you want to win? Who do you think's going to win?
The Rock thing just throws everything into disarray when it comes to the men's, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Even if they do win, are they actually going to get the match at Mania, or is The Rock going to have that match at Mania? That might be it. I don't know what they would do then. They get the next match or something, whoever wins in The Rock versus Cody or whatever it is. But at the minute, it just feels like Punk, for me, should be the one.
Yes!
Because that's the most interesting match to me through all of this. Like I said before, through the Royal Rumble, the moment of CM Punk eliminating Roman and Seth, the more interesting moment of that was Seth curb stomping Roman. That should be the match. The Punk thing just seems secondary and an added string to whatever those stories are going forwards, but not a catalyst for a Mania match to me. So I think Cody versus Punk should be the match, and just do something else with Cena. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. We picked Bianca for the women's.
Yeah.
Just makes the most sense with what's going down on Monday as well with Io and
she's
Rhea.
Such an incredible WrestleMania performer as well. And if to go back to the SmackDown problem and the booking and everything else, if nothing else, if you remember 1 month of the year that you've got Bianca friggin' Belair on your roster, let it be WrestleMania month.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
Sitting through 11 months of whatever, but then on that one night, at least as the years go by, she will constantly have that big match on that big show every year.
Female Shawn Michaels. In terms of a Mania moment thing.
100%.
Colin Mr. James says, who would you prefer as Rock's champ, Cena or Punk? They're both just fascinating, aren't they?
There is a chaos element of me that desperately wants The Rock to just come back and steal Punk's spot at Mania, because it'd just be incredibly funny.
It's so bizarre, isn't it? What's great as well is that Punk's rationale then, is he said on his DVD and probably said on camera, but it's WrestleMania. The top 2 wrestlers in the main event. I think he called it the top babyface and the top heel, because at the time he was the top heel in the straight edge society, and John Cena was the top babyface, and it was gets no more complicated to me than that.
Yeah.
That's, if there is a brass ring and it's real, that's what you grab for. So if you're the best baddie and the best good, you get the match. If The Rock comes in and takes it again, he's done it in basically the exact same way, because heel or babyface maybe not, but they are the top 2 guys. John Cena, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes isn't just something that we like if we like those guys. it is unequivocally the top match that WWE can promote between, right now at least, if you discount Roman Reigns, who has been able to take himself out of the title picture and take himself kind of out of the picture full stop. You know, he's working a couple of dates in Europe, and that might be the first time we can see him on TV.
Yeah.
The top 2 stars. It is yet again the same argument as it was all those years ago. Well, I'm the top guy, and so is he, so we should probably fight.
Can't not run with that, surely. Like, that is it.
It's been it's been my personal dream match since the day CM Punk signed for AEW.
Yeah. Who knew you were going to get it in WWE?
I could have only dreamt of it, yeah. Like, and it got lost, and then it got found again. And the reality is, and we have to be fair about this, I think one of the reasons why it remains as gripping as it is because it always feels like it could slip through your fingers.
Yeah.
Like,
just do it.
Yeah, I think like the glimpse of it as well that we got in the closing stretch of the Royal Rumble last year was so good. And it was like, when the stakes are high, which they were in that Royal Rumble, you think this, like, it almost was like it can't miss. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of like whatever they're capable of in the ring, like, you know them both inside now, and yet the atmosphere would take it beyond what you can possibly manifest in your mind.
Yeah.
Like, and I just worry that we might never get it because it's easy for one of those 2 men to kind of change what they're doing again. That's just who they are.
Yeah.
And we're here.
Just do
and
it.
We're really close. The angst he shares is rooted in this, like, sort of, what if Punk chins a guy? What if, like, Cody decides, oh, this is my dream now, and then it's all gone again.
Yeah.
You know, we lost Punk and Omega, and we'll probably never get that back.
Years a long time to wait.
Yeah.
You never know.
Last year, he's going to get his sense whatsoever. I love Priest, but no.
Yeah.
But, like, anyone else winning, I will get over. But I will think, why haven't you just done him and Punk?
Yeah.
And I know you can do. I know you can do him and Punk at SummerSlam or whatever, but he doesn't want a SummerSlam main event, and it's not. Well, it is SummerSlam main event worthy, but it's WrestleMania main event worthy, and I'm, you know, like with him in terms of like, okay, so Rock's come in and done this. What's he doing 2 weeks after Raw? Oh, he's not there. Brilliant. So what's the point in putting any work in?
One counter for all this.
No.
One counter, and I say this as a card-carrying punksman. I got punk derangement syndrome the other way. As most people have it, right? I goddamn love that guy. Warts and all. What if we're going to call this guy the best in the world, the best worker, in that ring, on that microphone, hell, he even does commentary better than anybody. He is so good that he has returned to WWE, and amends have been made, and he's had the chat with Triple H, and he's like, people want me to have this main event because they know it's the reason why I left the first time. Paul, can I call you Paul? I'm older, and I'm wiser, and I know what this is really all about, and it's about making money, and it's about getting out healthy, and I want to be a coach at the NXT and that. I'm all right, I'm pretty zen. I don't need that WrestleMania main event, but everybody thinks I do. So once a year, do you want to sell it? Every single year, do you want me to be so convincing that I'll go out there and I'll make the world feel like they need it?
Because he made you think he was winning the Rumble, didn't he?
And then I fall short, and the injury was unexpected, and I fall short that year, and I fall short the next year, and then every year I get him back in and I point that frigging sign, and I keep falling short. And maybe one day we pull the trigger. Like,
WrestleMania in Chicago.
I want to be here forever. I want to take your best friend's job at NXT. I'm kind of I'm not hiding away from that. And one day, Chicago, maybe we pull the trigger. Maybe there'll be a right time. Maybe it's my last Mania and we tie it on it. Who knows? But I'm pretty confident that I can fool them every year into feeling like I need this, or I will die, or I will hit somebody backstage. And every year you don't have to give them it, and you don't have to give me it, and we'll all just make a bunch of money. Like, what if? And then years go by, and he admits that in a shoot interview that doesn't get him sued, and we're like,
Impossible.
God damn, he was the best in the world. Like, I just putting that out there as well. Like, it's a work. It's a work.
Yeah.
And that's the point. You are supposed to care. You are supposed to invest. You're supposed to want it. If another person is to win this match, and like, I'm not going to name any names, but if somebody else won this match, like he's just cut a promo with Logan Paul, somebody wins this match and gets to hold it over CM Punk, let's say, right? Then what does that do? That generates more matches down the line as well. It's a work. I don't want it. I'm a mark. I want to see the Punker in the main event of WrestleMania, just like anybody else that likes him, right? But what if that too?
Yeah. And what the hell if it's not? Because it felt like Chamber ahead of WrestleMania, I don't think ever. Because
they kind
it's always
of had
felt
something
like
with Sami Zayn, didn't they?
Yeah, there was that. But even then, I was kind of like, I don't want Sami to win because I want to get the Roman Cody match sort of thing.
Santino Marella, of course. Was
yes,
the other one.
that's a good point. But like going into it, and both chambers, like you can make an argument again. I think Bianca's the right choice. I think Punk's the right choice, so that's that. But like, there's that. There's the whole Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. So you're not doing this at WrestleMania. You're going in a different direction. And there's Randy Orton hanging over all this, and now The Rock, and it's just, I love it. I want to be able to travel forward in time and go, come back here and be like, guys, it'll all be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm excited, I'm scared. But I think that's the beauty of when you're actually proper into something. If I was just there going, who cares? See what happens. Like, I don't know, but we'll have
I think
to
at
wait
the end of the day,
and see.
you've just got to think, what does WWE right now care about more than anything else? And it's saying they've just had the biggest gate in the history of wrestling. And who is going to make people pay $300 and up for the cheapest tickets in WrestleMania over 2 nights?
You've been looking at them, have you, Phil?
And what match is that? Is it Punk at Cody, or is it Rock Cody? What are people more likely to pay $300 and up for?
I'll pay anything.
I get nothing.
Big decisions to make, aren't they? Big decisions to make.
But it is the Chamber this weekend, and shout out to Mr. Phoenix in the chat who says, greetings not from the forklift, vacation day today because I'll be at SmackDown and the Chamber in Toronto. Also, outside the box prediction for Who's the Rock's guy, Logan Paul. That would be just shoot hilarious. Also, I think the 4 to take out the new group in NXT should be Cody, Spears, Ethan and Saints, the Elite Horsemen. Huge mega preview for SmackDown and Chamber, wherever you vid and pod. So jealous of you, Mr. Phoenix. And, if you want to put a sign up for us to be noticed, feel free. Did you see you did see the sign?
Oh, my
on
God.
Dynamite for Ladies' Night?
I did indeed.
During the Holly Cameron.
Generating discourse that they should have like a ladies' night where it's all women's matches on Dynamite, which couldn't be the best possible outcome for our silly game on Wednesday.
That would genuinely be the best. Like,
what a payoff.
Ladies, like Tony Khan not knowing doing a Ladies' Night Dynamite.
The best, I would say, live experience. You've got commercial breaks to wade through. Our TV tapings are not for everyone, are they?
A live crowd is not guaranteed. There's 18,000 people in there or whatever. Like, you might be in a section that doesn't pop as much as others.
Yeah. For one, if it was up to me, probably the biggest go home of the year, the WrestleMania go home.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
You want that on a screen with friends.
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah, where you can see commentary and the people's facial reactions.
And
you're at a WWE show. You're not guaranteed the screens are going to work, are you?
I like gambling so much, I do it in the ad breaks of SmackDown, mate.
You are not going to believe this. You like watching SmackDown
Gamble
on the screen,
responsibly, obviously.
And you're a responsible gambler?
Yes.
Well, I've got just a place for you.
Go on.
The HyperX Arena within the Luxor Hotel and Casino for the biggest SmackDown watch-along ever. Yay! He does this, and it really, really puts me off. It's pretty good, because I will sometimes watch it back and I'll realise the buttons he was pressing as I was trying to talk through it, because we're going to be doing that as part of the biggest WhatCulture live show ever at the HyperX Arena. It's too ambitious for our own good, but please buy a ticket, because we absolutely cannot wait. It's going to be April the 18th. All the information is available at whatculture.com/tickets, but I'm going to tell you it anyway, because we're going to do our fabulous live show that we always do. If you've ever been before, people will let you know just what a ridiculous time that is, but if you haven't, come along and check us out. It's all the nonsense you get on all the YouTube channels and the good stuff with the likes of Simon Miller. It's all good stuff. We're going to be doing
live ups and downs directly after SmackDown. Be part of the live ups and downs experience.
Yeah. Look at the faces on YouTube.
I know, right?
I'm going to do a stage dive.
Yeah, so if you don't buy a ticket, he's hitting. Actually, no, that's going to stop people buying tickets.
Yeah,
I won't do a stage dive.
You won't do a stage
enough
dive
people.
Unless there's enough people there to sit and catch him. Catch Adam Wilbourn live in person.
Touch me.
Catch Adam Wilbourn.
Buy a ticket and touch me.
It sounds like we're selling an STI, doesn't it? Catch Adam Wilbourn in Las Vegas.
You know what's a part of this.
But yeah, ups and downs live. You can be on YouTube. Then we're going to be doing
even if they make us, we'll just go to a bar in Luxor.
And you can come with us. There's a VIP option. Tickets are extremely limited.
Tickets are very limited. There are not very many VIP tickets left, so if you want it in the VIP experience, get it right now, because you will miss out.
Best views, seats right next to us for SmackDown portion of the night.
Yeah,
access to
watch
a separate
SmackDown
bar,
with us.
I think. But other than that,
see this level of excitement live in person.
You will be sick of me before SmackDown even starts. No meet and greet option this year, because everyone gets a meet and greet. There's going to be time to talk.
It's
There's
just
going to be
a
time
big
to
old hangout, have fun evening.
Simon Miller will give you an up, or if you want a down, I guess he'll give you one of those as well. But yeah, there'll be ample time with all of us. It is just the biggest and best and longest and daftest live show we've ever done. Tickets and all the information, start times, a whole lot. Hell, if you're even going to SmackDown, we're only in the closest casino to the T-Mobile, and your ticket is good for any and all of the event. You can come to what you like. It's just be great to have you along. WhatCulture.com/tickets.
Can't wait. Literally cannot wait as well for the UK tour. Tickets available there as well. WhatCulture.com/tickets.
How rude of me to forget.
Hi to OG Stem Cell, who says, I'm listening while stocking our new beer coolers. Only been a month with warm beer. Happy Friday, guys. Hope Sami doesn't die tomorrow. Cheers. Yep, good luck, Sami Zayn. You probably are going to die tomorrow, but it's been fun. It's been emotional. Christian Calazzo says, hola from Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Seeing The Rock is now a demon collecting other people's souls. Who would you have performing an exorcism on him, and how? Also, will we see Stax and an Odric collab? Maybe at the live shows. WhatCulture.com/tickets.
I would buy a ticket to see Odric chat with Stax. Like if you want that, I would buy a ticket, and let's just see how the two of them coexist. Any thoughts on that, Wilbourn?
Excited to see it. Yeah,
buy a ticket. Wilbourn has got the video on his phone of me dancing in Chesterfield as well, which he started mentioning about.
I got our Rumble stream demonetized.
Put it away.
It costs us money on a video, but it won't in person.
It costs me any money.
And he wants to put it on the big screen.
Who would you have to do the exorcism for?
Reverend Devon.
Good.
Yeah, he's
Deacon Batista could help.
Reverend Devon Deacon Batista, when he's not banning masturbation, he's doing exorcism.
Imagine that. That's the biggest heel thing anyone could ever do for me.
Yeah.
You can like run over someone with a car, screw someone out of a tile, do you like ban masturbation? I hate you forever.
That's what you'd make the Rock.
That's the line for me.
Yeah, the Rock comes out and says, I don't want your soul. I want you to stop jacking it.
That's it. Sell all stock at that point. Where are we?
Look, his head's
Corey Mills.
Even thinking about that word.
Can't possibly.
Corey Mills with a great nickname. You came out with one on the SmackDown preview that we've told you about for your travels.
Yeah.
But Corey says, well, if it isn't Fed and Feddy. All right, lads. Which wrestler will eventually bridge the gap between promotions, creating the inevitable AEWWE?
Thanks, I hate it.
Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon is an unbelievable shout, yeah. I wonder, we were in the building and I said it, like, probably on that podcast that night in that bar. God, I was happy in Dallas. Like, I was, from the day he returned, I was already thinking about the day that Cody goes back to AEW. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to happen. I've never once thought somehow, some way he doesn't end up thinking, I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
Like, the ambition on the man is unmatched. The vision on him is like, well, he's a visionary by 2020's wrestling standards. He sees stuff and then manifests it and it happens. And he does it with talent and hard work and all the rest of it. And how he came across to WWE and hasn't buried and hasn't stuck the knife in and won that Rumble and was doing the Kenny Omega and Young Bucks thing as he pointed at the WrestleManias, that's bridge enough, isn't it? Like, if he goes back the other way, speaking of a guy that's been a John Cena figure with nothing but good things to say and is able to be Cody in AEW and this time get it right, like tweak a few things that went wrong. That's it. That's the example.
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario for both promotions, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to go with the exact same person. Like, there's literally only Cody, I think, is the person possible of making anything like that happen.
Too many vibes either way, isn't there? There's too many sense of like wrestlers now should travel freely.
Yeah.
And like there should be a case of, I've had 3 good years, but I think I need the change, they need the talent. But there's always vibes currently, isn't there? Somebody always goes with like, I've got something to prove or I need to get out of there. It's still there's that element of like...
chips on the shoulders are real and the burning of bridges is also real.
Yeah.
Conor the Red makes a good point. MJF's a good name to mention in that as well, actually. But I do think that would be a more permanent move, I think. But if, I could see Cody doing that. And if he did that, I'd have him play this new character, get rid of not just Rhodes, but Cody. I'd call him Fatboy Slim because he's halfway between the gutter and the stars. Just a thought there. Mark Lee Willis says...
I praise you.
Just thought I'd donate a super chat as I've infiltrated your comment section. Also, what is Phil's chocolate bar sweets hand looking like?
We did. We've given you time on this one, Phil.
The other day. I've got to remember what it is now. So the palm of the hand was just a big bag of mint Imperials.
Yes, I remember this.
Save the middle finger for the end one because it's popped me daft.
Underrated.
I remembered his middle finger.
The thumb was caramel Freddo.
We effed up.
Yeah.
We didn't bring Freddos to the party. That was on us.
Yeah.
Freddos and Chomps were our big oversight.
Fair. And a literal finger of fudge.
The index finger was a Boost. Again, underrated chocolate bar, I feel.
We kind of had the index finger as the ride or die, and then Phil was just like, boost. Oh, fair play.
Ring finger is salted caramel Twix.
Real nice. Yeah. Love the green packaging.
What the
of
little finger was.
Didn't you go with a
Bueno?
Bueno,
it was a Bueno.
We acknowledge that I love the Bueno, but it is a bit light and will buckle under pressure. So
you're not going to do much with your little finger, so you got to keep it safe.
You were not ready for this middle finger.
I've forgotten what this is. I'm excited.
The middle finger is just a big can of paprika Pringles.
It is.
Just a huge up yours.
Huge middle finger. The most useful finger, obviously, when it's really, really long. Yeah, there's a big tin of paprika Pringles.
I love it. Design the hand. Let us know your hands. Send them in. Maybe it's like Art Attack. Maybe we'll review some of the best.
We really
hands.
want to see your fingers.
Oh, that's good stuff. Well, no, what I was going to say was, like on Art Attack, or send yours in and we'll review some of the best ones on next week's podcast. That's right. Next week's Dynamite preview. Maybe we'll talk about some of your favourite confectionery hands.
This is an Art Attack. This is an Art Attack. Eat your hands and you'll have a heart attack.
Right, before we get to this week's hashtag bloody good quiz.
Ironic as well.
That's one for all the American listeners.
The mascot from Art Attack, of course, was the head. So you had no reason for a confectionery.
Yes.
You need a confectionery face.
Couple of final questions before we get to the bloody good quiz. Eric Vasquez, great first name. Thank you for getting in touch as always, Eric. Says, happy Friday. I'm curious, how do you think Austin Hogan would have played out had that match taken place at WrestleMania 18 instead of Rock Hogan? Much love.
Real bad.
Not as good, I agree.
Real bad.
Rock's better than Austin.
Nope. But in some respects, yes.
In all respects.
Stop it. The best match ever, maybe, is Rock versus Hogan. You can that's the one. But Austin was right to turn it down, and Hogan was lucky he did. That's the reality of that one. Austin couldn't have turned mid-match as The Rock did, nor would he have particularly wanted to. And then structurally, that match just falls apart. Austin was broken down by his own admittance, mentally and physically by then. So would he have had the spring in his step that The Rock had in 2002? Probably not. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the physical performance in that match. Hogan's amazing at the real stuff, but movement-wise, you are seeing him start to slow. Drag him through that, or is he going to kind of secretly enjoy him getting a bit blown up and then stun him and pin him and everyone drinks beers? And does that crowd really want to see that versus just seeing the two of them? You need to do a handshake at the end as well. And can Austin do that without having to drop him with another stunner? I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is also true.
We also lose the most important thing from that. And that's not even Rock Hogan. It's Scott Hall Seller the Stunner.
Yeah, well.
So I still think it gets overlooked so much. I love it.
It bit my ass at the time. Not so much at WrestleMania, but that we didn't get it, though. It did. Like, just because WrestleMania wasn't the place, there was a small window of time and they didn't take it. There's a dark segment after Hogan saves Austin and whoever else on Raw. And they're both, like, Hogan's back in the red and yellow at this point, and Austin's dressed, obviously, as Steve Austin, and he hits him with a stunner. But it's after the show's gone off the air. But there's that picture, isn't there, like Austin and Hogan with a beer, and Hogan, because he's back in his red and yellow. It feels real. It's like, there it is. Proper Hogan versus proper Austin for a glimpse. But that was all it ever was.
They put Hogan with the biggest star, and that's The Rock. Tactical Penguin says, OMG, Hamflett at work. That's a surprise, bloody part-timer.
I hate this.
Hope you and your kids had a good half term. If Kevin doesn't steelise Sami, I'll riot.
It's coming. It might not be here. It might be at WrestleMania. It might not even be in the ring. It might be in the seats. There's plenty of empty ones in that Sky Dome that they could use. In the upper deck, maybe. Steelise them into that.
Yeah.
I had a lovely half term the days I was off. I'm never off.
That's it now, though. Next week, full week of work?
My wife's birthday next week.
Okay, fair enough. Week after that, then.
There's a teacher training day. I don't like being off, and I don't like the narrative that I do.
Part-timer.
My days are
when
easier.
You're in, all you do is bloody complain about things.
He's not wrong about that.
Right, final question before we go to the bloody good quiz. And people wanting a more extended Elimination Chamber preview, it's, as Hamflett mentioned, because I've seen Connor and a few others talking about it in the chat, we've sort of folded it in with our SmackDown preview because there's two matches and one of them's really boring on tonight's SmackDown. But Paul Abbott, thank you for asking. I don't think there's any Elimination Chamber stream organised. Probably because I'm not here. But don't worry, we'll be covering all of it next week, and we'll be doing our live Elimination Chamber review on Monday, so do join us for that one. But Paul says, outside the main event scene for WrestleMania, what happens with Sami and KO Is an unsanctioned match a means to write them both out of the WrestleMania running?
I hope not, because I feel like if ever there was a match that deserved a Mania spot, it's Kevin versus Sami. And I'm kind of sad that they rushed it onto Elimination Chamber. I get why. At least like an Elimination Chamber, it'll feel more important, have more of its own moment probably than it would on a Mania card that'll be very busy and obviously nowhere near the main event scene. But it feels like those two in a Mania setting, like they've obviously had the tag match moment in the main event, which was like beautiful and great, but this as a match that will never die on a Mania scene just kind of feels like it needs to happen.
It's weird, isn't it? Like, we did go long into this, and I do recommend you watch and listen if you haven't yet, but like, I don't mind this, and yet I also don't really fault anybody that feels a bit worried that it's not going to make it to Mania, because of what I've not liked about the uncertainty is that I enjoy the long anticipation. It lasts longer than the match itself. You want to like luxuriate in it as long as possible. And it felt pretty much as far back as Owens' first turning heel, because you could see the order of events that you could luxuriate in Owens and Zayn getting to WrestleMania, and it was like, get in, lads.
Yeah.
Like the 37 was the kind of fought in the half empty stadium with Logan Paul as the middle guy and Sami Zayn as the heel, and this is the way around it should really be. And you were invited to get excited for it, and now here we are. And what's frustrating is that you can't really fault this booking because it is in the Sky Dome, and they're going to want that.
Yeah.
You're right. Their moment could be way bigger here than it was ever destined to be at WrestleMania. But you buy into what WrestleMania means, and you want them to have that. I think I want them to have it both.
I want them to have both as well. I don't see why they can't. Put them in Hell in a Cell or something at WrestleMania. Do something big and dumb and stupid.
I'm not completely opposed to what Wilbourn's most excited about with Sami Zayn, but I don't love it as much as an Owens rematch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross can be fun. But Conor the Red has reminded me, yes, I have this just in, my first prediction for 2026, and that is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania for the world title. And that's why they're not doing it this year. But, like, I can just already see in my head, and I'll admit this path did not take in Jey Uso when I first thought of this. John Cena wins the World Heavyweight title off, presumably heel who's taking it off Jey Uso, to be perfectly honest, at SummerSlam. Big final 17th title thing to sell the first two nights SummerSlam. At some point later on in the year, Kevin Owens takes that off John Cena. And then, as much as I would love Sami to be Mr. Money in the Bank, I've even pivoted from that and said, Sami wins the Rumble, and that... this time next year, we might be sat here saying, it might not happen whatsoever. See, injuries, things change, plans change, The Rock. But I do
never discount The Rock.
I also, and I factor in the fact they're in Toronto and it's just I want to kill each other, and they've probably had Randy Orton on versus Kevin Owens on the docket for quite some time too.
Pop quiz. What did each man have the last time at WrestleMania? Was it the New Orleans Superdome?
Right, we can do this, Phil. You and I, we've got half a wrestling brain each, right? Because normally it's like, Sid could answer this straight away. He could, definitely. What did they have when they last fought in Superdome? That's 34?
Correct.
WrestleMania 34. What the hell was on that card?
What was on that card?
Asuka,
I am really
Charlotte.
bad at these games.
Shinsuke, AJ.
Oh, yeah, it was that one.
What else was on that card? We did the live stream for that, no?
Yeah, I think so. Was it...
US title?
Wasn't Sammy Jackass thing? No, that was later, wasn't it?
No, that was...
38, we were there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were there.
34. Look at the chat now.
Was it when he was doing his conspiracy stuff? Or was it the Bobby Lashley thing?
No.
What was that?
They fed him a lot of crap.
US title stuff?
Nope.
The Face of America before or after that?
Face of America was before this.
So hang on, let's work the year out first of all. 20. So I'm working for once. 2018, 17. No,
2018.
Yeah, 2019 is when we go to 2018. So. Jinder match? Was Jinder? No.
Do you want to tell you?
No, give us a clue.
Oh.
Oh, fuck! I'm sorry.
He's got it.
It's only because of the chat. I
did phrase it away phrase it away to try and throw you a little bit.
You'll kick yourself when he tells you this.
But it's a nice bit of lore if they do wrestle each other next year. There's a little clue. Want one last punt or not?
No, go for it. Are they on?
They were teaming together against Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Because when Bryan fought for his dreams and his dreams fought for you, they were like, you bastard, and they beat him up. Shane, I need you. And that was their role that year. Do you remember they'd done Cammy with AJ at the Royal Rumble, and now it was happening. Like, nothing was happening for them. And then it was just like, Daniel Bryan's returned, thank God. And he's returned where he won the title 4 years earlier, so we can. So they do have, like, Sami and KO lore in that building. So they would probably lean on that, and they would probably say, look, like, we were a tag team last time we walked in this building together, and now look at us, that sort of thing. So there's, Hang
on, very quickly. We'll get to the really good quiz in a second, but a very quick quiz question. What did Dave rate it? Thank you to Brian in the chat.
I didn't even like it that much. There was a bit where Brian, I think he did the drop kick, and then he shook his head a bit. So I was like, oh God, and that was amazing.
He's a miserable bastard, Dave, isn't he? He gave poor Nicholas 1 star. He won the tag titles.
Pretty generous. Actually, the bar were quite good in that, weren't they? Like,
Triple H and Steph. This is so nice looking back at these.
Ronda.
Triple H and Steph, as Kurt Angle and Ronga went 4.25.
It's a 5, I think. That's a WWE 5 for me.
AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. There you go.
Trash.
Better than CM Punk's Mojo. 3.75.
Yeah, now it happened.
Brock Roman 3 stars.
That's maybe one of the worst WrestleMania matches ever.
Jinder was in that 3-way, for Randy Orton, Bobby Roode.
The Roman Brock one was the story where Roman was like, I'm going to beat Brock because he's Vince's boy, and I'm pretty sure you're his boy. And then because everybody just
and all his family just thought he was going to win. Well, he got his face smashed.
The whole building assumed he was going to win, so they booed him out the building, and then he lost anyway. And it was like, so they booed you. You've survived, I think, 7. You know the old adage, 7 F5s in it, but the 8th just right. Dave went. There's no way he went 4. 3 and 3.
3.25.
You've split the difference. 3.5 stars. Just as good as Samoa Joe, CM Punk.
And it wasn't. Shane took most of it. It was like, Brian, I can't do it. Shane, you'll have to fight for me.
Explains a lot. Right, anyway, enough of all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz. And this week's quiz is brought to you by Brian Weddick.
Hey!
It's his birthday on Sunday. Thought I'd dedicate this to him. Brian, thank you for all the hard work that you do doing the SmackDown Photoshop. And, well, not even just SmackDown now, just all the Photoshops. But this week's quiz is all about the Elimination Chamber. 10 questions.
Elimination Chambers.
10 questions.
I wish we took that event in as part of Phil and Fed's excellent adventure. If there was one event we could have attended together, it would have been that one.
God, I'm so jealous. You're 2 solid day.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
It feels like announcing like another tour, doesn't it? We're going to be in Salt Lake City, San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary. Are you in them cities for like virtually 24 hours and no more? Because so are we.
My happiest day will be the day you come back. Yes, it's over.
Feeling sad and tired, boys? Good. I've got 18 jokes lined up that I wrote down and kept to pop you with.
Oh, yeah, the bits that you'll have to catch you up on.
Yeah.
We don't do bits, to be fair.
We don't do bits.
So 10 questions, multiple choice, shout your name, wait for me to come to you. Remember, guys, it's just for fun.
Just for fun.
Right, question number 1, all about the Elimination Chamber.
Final answer, boss, because D's always there.
Hey.
Yeah. So, Elimination Chamber. One of my favourite Elimination Chamber matches was, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, was the Elimination Chamber in 2020, won by Shayna Baszler. Dread it, run from it, and she doesn't win the bloody title.
She's zombie.
But she pinned, or eliminated, I should say, all of her opponents at Elimination Chamber 2020. Just name them in order.
In order?
I'll give you the names.
This is a Hamflett question if ever there was.
Well, I didn't realise he was going to be here. I'll be honest, I read this beforehand. I'll give you the names.
I've got 3, I think.
In no particular order. Liv Morgan, Asuka, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Natalya. Jesus Christ.
The orders. I could have got all of them bars.
You can go back and forth. I'm not going to deduct a point if you.
Did she eliminate Sarah Logan first?
You shout your name and wait for me to come to you.
Hamflett.
Yes.
Sarah Logan.
Yay!
Keep going at this film.
I'll try. Ruby Riott.
How's this working? Who gets the points then if you do it?
No one.
Just fun.
Okay.
Yay!
Said it was just for fun. We're having fun here. Next,
Asuka, Liv Morgan, Natalia.
Surely Natalia. Although,
I'm going to go head over heart and say Natalia.
Yay!
Liv Morgan and Asuka.
Liv Morgan, Charlie.
Yay!
Over to you to finish it off. Can you get it? Huh?
I think I'm going to go with that.
We're on the road to nowhere. Right. Speaking of the Women's Elimination Chamber 2020, which lasted longer, that match or The Rock's promo last week?
Oh, God.
I really hope it's the match. Phil, Rock's promo.
Yay!
26 minutes in its entirety. Plays 21 for the Elimination Chamber.
My God.
Right. Question 3. According to Cage Match, easy one here. How many WWE matches have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn been involved in?
What?
Oh.
That includes, I wasn't going to go through and get rid of live events. So live events, being on the same team, being on opposite teams, being in Rumbles together. How many matches? Your options are, first question with options. Ooh. 69. Good stuff, innit? 189, 225, or 273.
Phil, the biggest one.
Yay!
Filling it.
Filling it.
Yay.
Question number 4. Which wrestler has appeared in more Elimination Chamber matches than John Cena? Is it Triple H, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, or Mike Knox?
Hamflett. The game ski himself.
No, dear, that's wrong.
What were the other ones? Kofi Kingston. I'm assuming it's not Mike Knox.
Mike Knox and Randy Orton.
And Randy Orton. Ooh. And Kofi.
The Best Match Ever series, new one dropping on YouTube over the weekend. FT Garcia just says at the tag team
Oh, yeah. Thank God, yeah.
because they faced off against.
But they're not asked about Cup anymore. You know, when he was getting beaten up by Death Ride, they were like, they've been out there like one match earlier. And just
Can handle himself, can't he? He's got Jay White now.
whatever.
Right, 4-1. Question number 5. Trish Stratus is competing on this year's Elimination Chamber in Toronto, of course. But which toy does Trish Stratus collect? Is it Barbies, Funko Pops, Cabbage Patch Kids, or Cabbage Peel Kids, they call it, don't they?
It's one of them, yeah.
Or dildos? You know, which one
There
is
it
it?
is. There it is.
Hamflett. Is it Cabbage Patch Kids?
No, dear, that's wrong.
Cabbage Pale Kids?
It's dildos, no. It's Barbies.
Yay!
I did actually know that, funnily enough.
It's a dildo.
It's the dildos.
5-1.
Uses the Barbies as dildos, obviously.
God, wow. You do you. I
Question
like what you
six.
like.
To each their own.
Question 6. True or false?
And I can up my ass.
Liv Morgan has appeared in every women's Elimination Chamber match.
Phil, true. Why not?
No, dear, that's wrong.
False.
She has appeared in 5 out of 6, though, not including the tag one. But they did. She wasn't in the first one, 2018.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Remember who was in that one?
Alexa Bliss.
Yep. Hang on, I'll get it up.
She won it. Very, very funny. I'm so grateful for myself, you losers. Christ. 2018.
Pick some wrestlers. Becky Lynch.
Not in it.
No. They did. Was that the same night they did the tag? No, it was 2019, wasn't it? Bailey and Sasha were both in that then.
Natalia.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Oh, God.
The 3 people who aren't with the company anymore.
Sonya Deville.
Yay!
Mandy Rose.
Yay!
Have I got one more?
Yay!
Ruby Riot.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Paige.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Sarah Logan.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Have you seen the genuine transparent
Carmella.
Cena figure, says Mark Lee Willis. I didn't see this, no.
Genuine transparent.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Guess.
Eliminated 3rd by Bailey. Entered 5th.
Nia Jax.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Who have we got? Bailey, Sasha.
Pontus Olsen, you are correct in the chat.
Bailey, Sasha, not Liv.
No.
So, Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan.
Deville.
And
You just said not Liv.
Sonia Deville. And Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, that's
our
five.
And we've done all of Absolution and the Riot Squad. So it can't be any of them. Not Carmella, Naomi.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Because she was the WWE Women's Champion.
Look at the rest of this card.
SmackDown
Asuka
was-
versus Nia Jax. Had Jax won, she'd been added to the match at WrestleMania 34. Yeah. And you wouldn't have had to beat Asuka, I suppose.
Someone
Yeah,
not
but
with
it's
the
all right.
company
She got the match
anymore.
against Alexa instead.
Someone not with the company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Are they in AEW?
Nope.
Nikki Bella.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Rhymes with her name.
The
though.
other Bella.
Brie Bella.
No. Rhymes with...
Nikki. Cross.
No. That would be the same name.
Same. Ricky Starks.
Remember, Braun eliminates The Miz, Elias, John Cena, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns beats him.
But that's 7 people.
Right.
They built that with that match that went on for nearly the entire duration of Raw, so you'd seen them all wrestle
Yeah.
each other. They could be like, Seth Rollins went 2 hours and nobody gave up shit.
Right. Where are we? What's that? 5-2?
Probably about 5 all or something.
Next question. Question 7. Whose spot did Edge take when he competed in 2 chamber matches in one night, 2009?
I like your options anyway, but it's Kofi Kingston.
Yay!
Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Mike Knox. Earned his money. 5-3, I believe. Oh. Dan the Grappler in the chat, thank you for your donation, Dan, says, hello, chaps. Question for the newly blossoming What Culture Chocolate podcast. Of the many fallen and loved chocolate bars from the past, which singular one would you bring back? I'm going for a Mars Delight, but need to ask the experts.
Cadbury's Marble.
Ooh,
That's a shout.
Good choice.
It was for those Americans maybe that might not have got it because you don't get Cadbury's unless you pay for exorbitant rates in your UK section, which always pops me because I have to get my Mountain Dew for like £3 a can, and then we go over there and it's like digestives, $80. Milk chocolate and white chocolate like fused together, and the marble is
Swirly.
because the marble
Yeah.
effect, and just when you bit into it, it was like had like because of the 2 chocolates had like a softer texture as well.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was like they nailed the mix. It was a perfect. It was a new taste, but it was familiar at the same time.
Good.
I don't think they're going to get any better.
No, I don't think I'm going to beat that. Not a chocolate bar, but vice versa.
Oh, yeah. Again, we're kind of
Yeah,
same
another
sort of
thing,
thing. Yeah. I think I don't know. I might be speaking on behalf of Adam Nicholas here. I'm in the man's chair today.
Dream Bar, Mr. Jeans. Yes.
Dream. I think because I'm pretty sure he's a Milky Way
Crispy.
crispy rolls guy.
Smudger by name
And
says that in the chat.
I don't think crispy rolls are a thing. I think they've been quietly discontinued. I was a big fan when the Kit Kat Chunky launched. It launched at the same time as the Time Out Chunky, but the Time Out one went away.
I love Time
And
Outs, yeah.
imagine how the Kit Kat Chunky redefined the Kit Kat. The Time Out Chunky did the same. It was like that's
Game changer.
So much, and then it didn't stick around. Whisper
Same.
Mint.
Whisper Mint.
I like the Whisper Mint.
I was going to say, I've not
Yeah.
seen a Whisper Gold in ages.
Oh, they're still out
They're
there.
definitely
You're
still
gonna find
around,
them.
but I've just not seen them in a
Found a
while.
C4 energy in Sainsbury's. You remember I spent the whole night of the Royal Rumble trying to find a can of that? Yeah, it's just bastards. Right. Question 9. What did Grayson Bloody Waller do at last year's Elimination Chamber? Did he box a kangaroo, drink a shoey, wrestle an alligator, or throw another bloody shrimp on the barbie?
Hamflett. It was the shoey.
Yay!
Do you remember who it was with?
Oh God.
You'll kick yourself. You know
Yeah.
this. Ooh, Home Bargains now sells Twix and Bounty crispy rolls. That is new information to me, Vanders.
Twix crispy rolls.
What?
How does that even work?
It's only one way to find
I
out.
mean, I can visualize a Bounty one because the interior bit of the crispy roll will be coconut infused.
We'll be ruined.
Be even better.
We'll be ruined.
Mark Lee Willis, quite right. Loving the Bounty in the chat.
No.
No, yeah.
Anyone
No,
who's
just
Bounties
no,
are
just no.
freaks. Just no.
Thank you so much, Phil. Because the people that like just cape for bounties make me
Nah.
sick. They make me sick to my stomach.
Weird
JR.
people.
Say they are weird people. Sorry, Mark.
You can't trust someone who likes a bounty.
Point off it both. It's 4-4 now.
That's
what happens.
He's putting bounties on our heads. The Twix crispy roll as a tea straw. Because that might improve on...
Get rid of those bloody paper straws, so...
Oh, God.
Everyone
Oh my
just
God.
has
Can
Twix.
you imagine if McDonald's just Twix straws? You're like, all right, let's see where this goes.
We had a
straw-
full rant on McDonald's in the office earlier, didn't we?
It's gone wrong. McDonald's, the best place on earth is Disney. I get the Disney
Las
of
Vegas.
food is Las Vegas. Yeah, the all of those places of food, the Fed of food, McDonald's has gone wrong. Like you walk into McDonald's now, and the promise, if nothing else, nobody's expecting it to be gourmet unless you're a complete scumbag like me. Like quick, dependable, relatively affordable.
It's me in the bedroom so far.
I like how the first thing I said was quick. Yeah. Mostly, apart from the first one you said, I'll take ages. I'll take too long if anything. You get
She keeps saying Sting, and I'm not.
And relatively affordable.
Yeah.
So you got a limit.
And because of all those things, like imminently accessible, it's all McDonald's is always there for you, right?
You know what you're getting.
They're all gone. They're all gone. It takes friggin' ages, right?
Preach.
Not least because it feels like it takes longer because you have to watch people's deliveries, Just Eats and Uber Eats getting delivered, seemingly at the expense of yours getting made. They've introduced the screens, which I don't have a problem with if it makes the people working behind the bar's time easier, although I do think it has cost jobs. But the screen's there. But they're nowhere to stand and wait now that it's a waiting game. They've not like sort of changed the shops around so that it's like, you order here, you sit here in comfort, or you stand, but you've got comfort. You're not just, everyone's in everybody's way. It's Royal Rumble vibes, you know? And then as Wilbourn pointed out, the one time McDonald's works is if you use the table service.
Treat yourself.
But because so many of them have moved to the screens and the Uber Eats thing, they're just ripping out tables and chairs and making some standing space. And the prices, partly thanks to Brexit, and I don't want to get into that, but like, that's not entirely Ronald's fault, all right? I'll give him that one. But in every other respect, like, it's lost all of what made it magical
We spent 350 million on the NHS. Give it to Ronald instead.
until you take a bite, and then it's McDonald's, right? Wrong, because it's gone cold, because it's taking longer to make. Look,
Why go to a clown when you can have a king is all I'm going to say.
there's only one thing I like more than those golden arches is when you turn it upside down and put another W in the middle. But like, it needs addressing and fixing. We need to get a proper McDonald's back. I don't need the clown. I don't need like the kids' party seat and all that area. But like, it's gone wrong. Ron's gone wrong. Not the film, the McDonald's.
I love how all through this, you don't care about your kids' experience in McDonald's. You're like, I just want my goddamn burger. Like, my kids can off. They're going outside. I don't care.
The twist is, if they're getting one, they don't care about the experience because they can't believe it all. McDonald's, like, they're like meerkats, man, when you tell them a Mackey's is happening.
Bad-mouthing bounties.
Bounty gate.
Regardless, all to play
Phil,
for on this.
hey.
Don't you even dare, okay? I'll just give the quiz to him and think about how...
And then you'll learn.
Hey.
Think about... Do you know how much
I don't need the answers.
Do you know how much
need the
work...
answers.
Not even the
You don't
answers.
need-
Do you know how much work I've put into this question to get where I need to get, Phil? Question number 10. This is Roxanne Perez's first Elimination Chamber match, of course. But her first ever match took place on the LWA Paying Dues event.
There it is. That's how he gets to the silly names.
But which of these tag teams also wrestled on that show? So it's related to the Elimination
Tenuous
Chamber.
link, yeah.
You need to tell me which of these tag teams also wrestled on that show where Roxanne Perez made her debut. A bit like she's making her debut in the Elimination Chamber. That's what you're getting. Was it?
Phil.
No.
Willy Bangers.
Say the mic. Is it A, the Fanny Pack Boys, B, Minge and Bracket, C, the Pussy Patrol, or D, the Beaver Bandits? And I'll conclude by shouting out Dan the Grappler, who says, Hamflett once again nailing the confectionery question. Cheers, guys. Worst case scenario, we'll all agree on a Maverick bar and call it a draw. Peace out.
Yeah, game for that. I'll bring them all back. I never want to discontinue a thing because you just start to fall in love with something and they take it away.
I've been burned so many times.
That's why I stuck with the Fed. This was clearly never going anywhere, and when people just wanted to leave.
But congratulations, Phil Chambers. You are the winner, of course, naturally, for Elimination
Obviously.
Chambers. The winner of this week's quiz! Let us know how you got on in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff on YouTube, especially for the Best Match Ever series that returns again this weekend. But you can follow all of us on social media. You can follow the quiz winner, Phil Chambers, at
Eliminate My Chambers. You can follow Michael Hamflett.
Michael My Hamflett. And you can follow Adam Wilbourn at
Adam Wilbourn. I've lost followers because like X has gone bad and stuff now, so just give my actual handle. Adam Wilbourn.
all the ones he paid for.
Follow us all. Shut up. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. If you want to hear more of us chatting all about what the hell's going to happen tomorrow night, Elimination Chamber, check out the SmackDown preview / Elimination Chamber preview, myself and Hamflett, available as a podcast right now. But for now, this has been WrestleCulture. My thanks to Michael Hamflett, to Phil Chambers. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Wrestling.
Willy Bangers.
Oh, yeah, it's me. I've got to get it.
Oh, God, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
guys.
Brian, have a lovely birthday. Give a massive shout out, if you can, to the wonderful Scott Carlson, who does ups and downs. He celebrated his birthday earlier on this week. And we'll be back with all the fallouts from Elimination Chamber next week. Bye.
Bye.